Hey there, Stephan Hawkes here at Hawkes Studio with Guitar Tabs Daily. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Science Fair from Summer School Electronics. It's a rat pedal blended with a tube screamer on a blend knob, which is very interesting. I'm playing through my Matchless Independence 35 and a 1977 Blackback 30 cab with an SM57 and a Royer 121 ribbon mic on it. So yeah, the Science Fair is basically a tube screamer design and a rat pedal design with a parallel blend knob, which is not something I've ever used before. I'm a big fan of both pedals, especially rat pedals. Just rat pedals, when done right, are just my favorite kind of pedals. And obviously I love tube screamers for other things. So immediately upon realizing that that's what this did, it really piqued my interest. And spoiler alert, the execution on it is pretty incredible. So I start by just showing off the tube screamer side. So you put the blend all the way here, and then you basically just got your normal 3-knob, tube screamer stuff, volume, drive, and tone. So here's the clean sound. Beautiful clean. Let's get the tube screamer part dialed in. Yeah, so I mean, immediately it sounds bold, it's got crunch, it's got really great mids, which there isn't a mid-range control on this. And as we go through the features of the pedal, it's going to become abundantly clear why you don't really need one. So you can darken it up and go a little more of a mid-gain tone if you want. Sounds great either way. Yeah, so that part of the pedal sounds great. The tube screamer part, it's clear, it's punchy, it's got the mids you expect. I really like it. Going over to the rat side, you've got your traditional rat controls, volume, drive, and blend, or not volume, drive, and tone. So let's just find a good setting here for that. What I love about rat pedals is they just can be extremely gainy. They usually have enough power to kind of overcome the boldness of the clean of the amp. And in this case, these settings are pretty regular to what I would normally do on my favorite rat pedals. So there's not a surprise here in terms of it doing its own thing. It's just a really, really good rat pedal. It doesn't have to be that gainy. You can bring it down the gain and get way less distorted than what I was just playing. So yeah, it's got a great power to it, great thrust to the sound. That sounds, I'm a guy who plays a rat pedal, live, and have played rat pedals since I was a kid. And that sounds like a rat pedal. But the genius of this thing is in the blend, because obviously tube screamers have a different kind of attack than rats, and rats have a different kind of gain than tube screamers can get. Rat pedals, if you blow them out, they can basically just go straight to like insane over-the-top fuzz territory. So, I mean, it's basically borderline fuzz, and it's just exploding and doing all sorts of cool stuff. Tube screamer will never do that. But let's say you want to have both things. Use the blend knob, dial in something good on the tube screamer, and you can have the crazy explosions with the stability of a tube screamer. Now, obviously, that amount of gain, on a rat pedal is, not necessary to dial in your best distortion tone that you can get. So what I generally find with this thing, and again, I just played with it a little bit, having kind of a medium setting on the tube screamer, and then kind of a normal setting of what I would normally do on a rat, and then having the blend down at about 9 or 10 o'clock, kind of gives you the best of all worlds. So here's that. And what's cool is it's fast, because you've got a little bit of that circuitry of the tube screamer that isn't very gainy. And it just, I mean, again, I don't understand how they're even doing this, but I know I like it because I can play things that are extremely crisp and clear. And then get all sloshy and crazy with it and basically have a guitar tone that's tight and easy to control and super articulate. And because tube screamers have that kind of mid-range to them, you get a mid-range you could never get out of a rat pedal. I tend to like rat pedals that have more mid-range, rat clones that have more mid-range than the originals, and also are a little bit bolder than the originals, because the older ones are obviously kind of spongy and do that suck down thing. So the tube screamer half of this allows for that, and if you can do all sorts of crazy things with it. Turn up the drive, and then you can have even more of the tube screamer character in there. Which, I mean, that's just a fantastic overdrive distortion. Like, it doesn't sound like a weird blend. I'm not hearing any like it's a good idea, but it doesn't work. It just seems like a perfect execution of the idea. And the other thing that I found interesting about this pedal is how well it compares to actually the built-in amp overdrive of the amp. So, not that this is for everybody, but for me, I end up kind of judging distortion. I like a distortion pedal to be able to drive the clean channel of an amp in a very similar way that if the amp has two channels, it would do. That means if you have an amp that has one channel, like an old Marshall here or an AC30 or something, where you don't have the option of a second channel, if an overdrive or distortion pedal is able to match the built-in distortion of multiple two-channel amps, then that means you can kind of know it'll probably be a really good estimation of hot rodding a single channel clean amp. And I've had times where I played an AC30 or a vintage Plexi or something live, and I don't really want pedal distortion per se. I wish I could have like the sound of the amp distortion, but you can't, because you just got one channel and you need a clean. So yeah, this will take me a second to dial in. I have the channel on the matchless dialed in. So here's the matchless overdrive channel 2. Obviously a very good channel. I found that I was able to match this fairly well. Let's see here. So it's a little bright. Back it off even a little more. Volume boost. Matchless. Whoop. Might need to go even a little further towards the rat side. A little less tone. So yeah, they're, fairly comparable. I actually feel like I can get, this is only going to do different gain amounts and the same EQ you would have access to, if you're running the clean. So I really feel like this thing is super versatile. All the settings are super intuitive. It's really easy to dial in. It's got a form factor I love. I personally love having all of the inputs and all the inputs and the power stuff on top. Allows you to kind of put the pedals right next to each other, which is what I do with my Rat pedal. So I could literally play this pedal in my band. I mean, I could literally just put this on my pedal board and play a show, which I had to have a custom Rat pedal made in order to really be able to play live. So that's really saying something. I hadn't found anybody who made a Rat pedal clone of any kind that, I felt genuinely that I could replace my custom made one with if I needed to. They don't sound identical, and obviously I love the way mine sounds, but it doesn't have this tube screamer option. This does the thing where there's kind of that the Rats do, where the volume kind of pushes things over the limit and drives the amp. And that's kind of one of the reasons I love a good Rat pedal. And in all overdrives, I need that extra gear in the volume, that extra headroom in the volume to just give that amp some oomph. So if you listen to me back this off, you don't just lose volume, you lose power. And you just kick that up a little bit, right past 9 into right past 3 into 4 o'clock, and you get this extra kind of meaty sound. Which the amp has. So yeah, the Science Fair by Summer School Electronics. I think it's a great pedal. I don't know, it works super well with this clean, and if it can recreate the overdrive channel of this amp, it can probably give your one channel amp a true and accurate kind of overdrive sound, which is pretty impressive. Hard to do. Not many pedals are this versatile, and just a simple, straightforward design. And yeah, I really like it. I would absolutely play one of these. No questions asked. I really like it.